Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. I'd also like to welcome the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here today because we're going to discuss Piper nigrum. As you all know and have been following me on the journey, I stuck some black pepper seeds or Piper nigrum into 3 of these little containers after watching the US-based tutorials on YouTube University about how to plant. The tutorial said that it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the seeds to germinate, and that they would germinate and start the black pepper plant. Some of the tutorials, and if you like to go back and look, even said that you get the black pepper the first year. You know, black pepper is a spice. And I thought, ooh, let me order some. Spent the money. Then Renee joined the pepper train, and she did the same, and we both planted our Piper nigrum. Well, Renee, you can strip and abort that plan. I decided, this was last night, I'm putting the thing back. I decided, because it's been 8 weeks for me, I planted mine on the 13th of October. Renee planted hers maybe 2 weeks ago. But I decided, let me look at these videos again, because I should have gotten germination. I planted 5 Piper nigrum seeds, which were ordered here in the U.S., I was like, at least one of them should have germinated by now in the 6 to 8 weeks time frame. Nothing happened. So then I started watching tutorials again, and I said, let me watch a few of the tutorials that I have not seen. There were quite a few tutorials straight from India, and that's where Piper nigrum originates, in that region. I said, let me watch. So I pulled up a YouTube channel, and this man has almost 1 million subscribers. I think he has 997,000. His name is called Bonsai Gardening, or The Bonsai Gardening. I'll add the link. Anyway, he was Indian, and he talked about, you know, he's in India, and he talked about being in India. He discussed the seed, and he started explaining right away. He said that people will fool you and tell you that you could start a Piper nigrum seed after it's been harvested. He said, but they're always treated. He said once they've been treated, all the seeds are non-viable. He said you cannot grow a Piper nigrum pepper seed. It will not germinate after it's been processed. And he said that most, like if you buy them from the grocery store or even from a gardener that has treated, because he said they have to be treated after they're harvested. He said the only way the seed will germinate is if it has not been treated. Then he said in India, the seeds the plants are always harvested in the month of January, which is coming up next month, right? He said that is the time that if you're going to buy the seeds, to buy the seeds, because he said that he said that, and then they should be planted out. He said between the months of January and April. He said those are your best months to get the seeds germinated so that you can plant them out later. So then he went on to show his method. He talked about your chances of getting a seed to germinate is low. And he really mentioned the tutorials about that. He said, people always say you just stick it into a pot. He said a seed can germinate that way, but he said it's rare that they do. He said your best chances are to germinate them the method that he used, which was actually a stratification method, but it wasn't stratification. You know how we're supposed to do strawberries, and then some people do tomatoes the same way, where you could take the seed, put it on a wet paper towel. I think I've seen you do that, Lady Cheryl, where you put the seed like on a paper towel, and then you get it to germinate that way, and then you transplant that little newly germinated seedling into a pot or whatever, and then you nurture it to grow into a plant. Well, he does that same method, with the exception he doesn't put it in the refrigerator or anything like that. He just puts it, he used a rag because, of course, he's in India, so, they're going to do their method. But we usually use a paper towel. So he put it on a rag. He moistened the rag. He put the peppercorns on top of the rag. He covered it. And then he put it in a container with the lid to give it, I guess, the greenhouse effect. And then he put it in a dry, dark area of his abode. Okay. Then he checked on it every day. And then once it germinated, 14 days later, once the seeds germinated, then he took them out and then he transplanted them into a container similar to this, about this size. He used a little bit of compost, a little bit of just regular soil, gardening soil, and he used perlite. He said you need lots of perlite for drainage. Those were his only 3 ingredients. Once he sowed the seed into the container, then he placed it into a dark area. He said you do not put it under a grow light. He said, you put it in a dark area. He said, and then once the leaves develop, he said, because it will continue to grow in the dark area. He said, then once the leaves develop, then you put it under the grow light. Now, the Piper nigrum plant, which produces your black pepper corns, is a vine. It's not really a plant, so it doesn't bush out. It climbs. So once the plant is established, you have to have some sort of climbing mechanism for that plant. So for you and I, Renee, or you and me, we will be bringing ours in during the winter months. Otherwise, it will die because it is a tropical plant. So once we bring it indoors, we have to make sure the pot doesn't have to necessarily be huge. You just want a standard size pot for it. You might even want to use a bucket or whatever, but you need to have a stick to where, and the stick doesn't have to be, to the whole ceiling. I mean, if you wanted to climb that high, fine. But I figure a nice size stick, like one of those V-Grow sticks that I use, those green ones, just something that you can put into that soil so that once the plant begins to grow and climb, you can wrap it. A lot of people will wrap it like a philodendron. So that's what we can do. So Renee, because of that information and because I learned it's a whole totally different method with growing the Piper nigrum black peppers. Oh, and another thing too. Oh, this just about killed me, girl. Just about killed me. Everybody says that you get the peppercorns the same year. No, you don't. It takes 3 years. 3 years before you start getting peppercorns. So with that in mind, I'm going to plant my coffee too, because I had disbanded my coffee plant idea because when M.I. Gardner said it takes 3 years before you get coffee beans, I was like, I'm not waiting that long. But I'm so determined to get pepper seeds or peppercorns that I'm willing to wait that long. 3 gardening seasons, girl, I'll be 64. Girl, oh Lord, I hope I live to see this. I've been died that 3rd year, and then somebody will get my peppercorns, Lord. Oh, Lord, I have to raise from the dead. Anyway, let me stop. Anyway, the doggone peppercorns take 3 years, and then so does the coffee. So I'm going to go on and plant my coffee beans because I ordered some from M.I. Gardner a couple of years ago. I may as well, then they can be twins and grow together. And the coffee beans aren't as complicated to grow, although it is tropical. That is something that you would start just like a regular seed that you're starting in the seed starting mix, and it usually comes right up. You get your plant, and then you have to nurture it indoors also, just like the pepper plant. So I'll be dealing with those two for the next 3 years. But you know what? Time went fast because my asparagus, it took 3 years for that asparagus to establish. I planted that asparagus out in 2021, And this year I got asparagus. 3 years later, those 3 years went fast because you know the gardening season go fast and you have your winter. So then I had my second year, and then the year after that, which was last year, because I started that asparagus from root, you know, asparagus root. I bought at Home Depot. I started that mess in 2021, the summer of, and I got good asparagus, and it's a perennial, and I will get it every year for forevermore for the rest of my life. So it wasn't a bad trade-off. So I'm going to enjoy this journey. So Renee, as a result of all this, back to what I was saying before I went off into yet another tangent, as I was saying, because that information was so wrong, and I passed it on to you and both of us, but we didn't know. So I won't say that we did anything bad or wrong. We just didn't know. We watched our little video and whatnot, and we followed instruction, but it was the incorrect information. This man from India, he also did a timeline. So he did his little time-lapse video showing the moment he did the seed, you know, stratification, as I'm calling it. Then he went on to show where the seed had taken root, and it had that little white squiggly thing on the end. He showed how he planted it, and then he came back a few days later to show that it had developed, you know, it had grown and it had the leaf. And then he showed the whole process of the pepper plant. So the proof was in the pudding. And then he, towards the end of the video, and I will add the link. I gave the name of the channel, but I'll find the link and add that. So you can click on it and watch it. It's a 10-minute video, and it has over close to 500,000 views. And like I said, he almost has 1 million subscribers. So obviously he's good at what he does. So anyway, with that said, since I know that harvest time is in January, I went on eBay and I started looking. I pulled up Piper Nigrum, India, you know, and I pulled up organic, fresh seeds, because he said how you needed to order it. I forget exactly how he put it, but it was either just harvested or fresh or something. I forget what I pulled up, but it said that's what it was. Non-treated Piper Nigrum, and they will be green. Those seeds must be green. If they are black or white, that means they have been treated. And Renee, our seeds were black, so they're non-viable. Unless you tell me tonight I've got a miracle or something like that, and they sprouted, but they should be green, the non-treated ones. So since I now know that their harvest is in January, I put in an order, and this is for both of us, Renee. So I ordered 100 grams, so that's going to give us quite a few seeds, and it's free shipping, thank God, because it's coming from India or Sri Lanka, India. Anyway, I ordered the seeds, and as soon as they arrive, they are scheduled to arrive at the end of January. It said anywhere from the 17th to the 31st. So that means they'll be harvested and picked at that time, you know. So we know we're going to be getting them fresh. And he said the germination is 100% if you use his method. That's why I want to add that video so you can watch it and see for yourself and see how his process went. And we will have until April to get them germinated. So that will still give us pretty much our 8 weeks, because we still have, well, they're coming at the end of January. February, we'll have February, which is 28 days. So we should get germination by the 14th of February, somewhere around there. We have February, and then we have March, which is another 8 weeks. And that's right during the time we're going to be starting our seeds and whatnot anyway. So we've got time. I'm so glad it was God himself that led me to that video so that we can get in on this before it's too late. So we're going to be getting the freshest of the fresh, unless somebody's lying. But it looks as if it's going to be the freshest of the fresh based on the date that they're going to ship and the date that I should receive them. Thank God it's free shipping. So Renee, we're going to split them. I'm going to split them. I'm going to come on film when they come in, and you're going to see me split them right down the middle. You will get half and I will get half. Merry Christmas. So we're going to get this. our pepper challenge is going to go. And if it's a lot, then, you know, if somebody else wants some, then I'm willing to split them, because really all I want is one plant. So at the most, all I want maybe is 5 seeds for myself. And then don't forget the Grow Club. I just made them a donation too a few weeks ago. I decided to donate to them. I've done it before, but this time I really did it because they asked for a donation, and we've got some good stuff coming up this year, seeds, and I'm right in on that with the volunteering. I already signed up. So y'all know, get ready for that, because the seed, we're going to be sowing our seeds in the main greenhouse early February. So it's going to be busy. I've got approximately 1 month to rest, and not even that, because I've got to sow my sweet pepper seeds in January. So I'm resting now. So I better enjoy this, because after Christmas, it's getting ready to get kind of busy. And thank God the days have started getting longer. Starting today, the days are getting longer each day. I looked at my sunrise sunset calendar. And so I've skipped a few days of doing the light, because we've had a little sunshine. So on those days, I make sure I at least get out in it for a few minutes, even if it's just to stand out in it. Or I'll open up my blinds in my bedroom where the sun comes directly in there, and I get the sun that way. And on those days, I don't run the light. I ran it today for about an hour on low. And so I'm doing good. I'm doing very good with that, you know. So we'll see how everything turns out. But yeah, the days, solstice is this weekend, but the days started adding up again starting today. So that's wonderful to know. Okay, so we're getting close to 20 minutes, so that's all I wanted to talk about. Tomorrow, I may come on. I'm going to Michael's, so Renee, I'll be looking for those butter molds. I'm going to see, you know, if they're still on sale and whatnot. If not, I know they'll be on sale after Christmas, but I'm definitely going to get them. Your butter molds were so pretty. They were absolutely stunning. I went to Myers on yesterday because, let me tell y'all what happened. Yeah, we finna go over, because it's gonna take more than 5 minutes to tell this story. So we're gonna go over 20 minutes, y'all. Let me tell you what happened. I got up early Sunday to go to Myers to get the butter, and then I was heading to the cemetery for our yearly ceremony for the laying of the grave blankets for my late brother-in-law, my mother, and my father. So I get out to the car, it's dead as a doornail. Remember back in June when my battery went dead, and I bought a used battery, but it came with a 6-month warranty and the option, if I wanted to purchase an upgrade to a brand new battery, I had until December the 29th to get it done. If I wanted to do that, and then they would have taken all the amount that I paid for the used battery and put it towards the new battery, which would have made it cheap. That's what I did, because the battery died. Had to call AAA, and they had to give me a jump, and I went straight to the place, and I did buy a new battery, and it was still under warranty. So that's done. So from there, so as a result of that, I ended up, my sister offered to come get me. She and my niece offered to come get me and take me to the cemetery, but I really didn't want them to come out of the way, because the cemetery, although it's only like 5 minutes from where I live, I used to live like right there at it, but coming here, I moved like a mile down in the opposite direction. But right now, I'm right at the mall and everything. Although the other place was right by the mall too, but on the other end. But now I'm even closer. Y'all know the 2-minute drive, all that stuff. Okay, so anyway, so I didn't want my sister to have to come that extra mile to get me, take me to the ceremony, and then bring me back, because they had just come from a luncheon, and then they were coming from another direction, so it would have been out their way. So I told them I'll sit it out this year and just do it next year. Plus, I always go to the cemetery on death days and birthday. So my brother's death day is the 19th of December. No, the 20th of December. So I'll be going anyway. Friday, as a matter of fact. I always go. Then I'll be going on the 19th of January for my father, and then my brother-in-law died the 25th of January, so I'll be going back to the cemetery. You know what, I'll probably just do one visit, and I'll probably wait till the 19th of January to go and be done with it and just visit all of them. Then my late mother's birthday, would have been March 17th. And that day we always go because we take up the grave blankets on that day to put them up. And they're stored here in that little brown thing outside on my deck. I mean, on my porch. And then, you know, so we always go visit on her birthday. But anyway, okay, so off of that. But anyway, I didn't go. So I couldn't go anywhere Sunday. And so I went to Myers yesterday after I got the battery. I went to Myers immediately thinking I'm finna go get that butter. Well, as it turns out, the sale ended at midnight Sunday morning. So even had I been able to go on Sunday, I still wouldn't have got the butter. So the sale switched from Land O'Lakes, which is my favorite, to the Meyer brand butter. And although back when I couldn't afford the Land O'Lakes, you know, I was buying the Meyer brand and it wasn't anything wrong with it. It was pretty good. But I said, if it's a choice for butter on sale at that price, I'd rather have the Land O'Lakes. Now, I paid $3.99 for the Land O'Lakes while on sale, but the Myers is on sale for $2.99. But it's not as good as Land O'Lakes, but it's all right. It'll do if you're poor and don't have the butter money, you know, or if you can't make it yourself, which I couldn't at that time. So I said, now I can just concentrate on the butter molds. I decided I am going to get a Sam's Club membership in January because now with stocking and whatnot, I think that it won't be a waste of money to pay the $50 for the membership. I can do it and just have it for the time being because it's some things I want to stock up on. And I'll be able to do that while I'm able. And then I can let it expire or whatever, you know, later. But for now, I can have a stock that will last me a long time. So I think it's going to be worth it. But anyway, so the butter wasn't on sale. So I decided to, you know, piddle around in Myers. So I got my little nephew. We call him Nugget. He's a year old, my great nephew. I got him a little book for Christmas, and I got him one of those little squishy toys. And then I'm also getting ready to make him a hat and a scarf because he goes to daycare every day for Christmas. And hopefully I can get him some mittens or little footies made for around the house. So I'm going to get that tomorrow at Michael's, the yarn. So I'll be looking for the butter molds, Renee. The other thing I did, I was able to find the Heath pieces, Jen. Don't ask me, but they had that stuff on sale. I did not see it the other day. I was able to find the cashews. They had the butterscotch morsels. So they had all these extra things there that I did not see when I got the initial stuff for the Christmas crack. So I got it because it was on sale, 2 for $3. So I loaded up on some of that stuff. And then I got the condensed milk, which was on sale 2 for $1. So I have to go back tomorrow to get more condensed milk because my sister wants to make the Texas trash pie for Christmas. She's going to do the cooking, and my nephew's going to barbecue the ribs, and then I'm making the potato salad, and I'm going to take a lemon refrigerator pie. My mom used to make those when we were kids. And so she put hers in the freezer though, and we ate them kind of like ice cream. She used the graham cracker crust, and she used the condensed milk, and of course the lemon. I'm using that, but I'm going to add the cream cheese to my recipe because I saw that recipe, and I'm using those shortbread pie crust that I found at Myers. So that's how mine's going to be made. So I'll be taking one pie over there. My next Christmas crack that's going to have all the goodies will be either late January or early to mid-February. It's going to be on a stormy, snowy day. You know, at that time, it's not going to be for New Year's like I had originally planned. So I'll probably end up doing the pie for New Year's, and that'll be it. I'm being careful this year because I'm fat enough. Y'all, if y'all had seen me in 2021 when I had my surgery, I lost so much weight. I was down to like 178 pounds. And now look at me. Okay. So I'm not trying to gain no more. It's easy for me to lose. But the point is, you know, with the ostomy, it's very easy to lose because your absorbency isn't as high as it would be if I had my, you know, my full colon. But the point is, just because, you know, that's the case. And that's the reason why I be eating and all that stuff. But I need to cut back, you know, and I need to lose some. And I lost a little over summer. Y'all remember that because I was getting there, okay? I was getting back there. At one time, I used to weigh 283, so keep that in mind now. But now, you know, I'm back at 200 and I don't like it. I liked when I got down to 180-ish. I felt better and all that. So, but anyway, I'm rambling. So let me go on and wrap this up. I should have been pausing like this to wrap up. Anyway, so tomorrow I will go back to Myers. I'll be getting the condensed milk since it's on sale 2 for 1. I'm getting some for my sister and myself for the pies. The stuff for the potato salad that I'll be making. And then what's the other thing? I'll be looking again, y'all. I went to get those honey persimmons because they were so good. I ate that last one and I was like, I got to get some more. I went yesterday. They were gone. And I mean, they had a big bin of them, a huge bin of those things. Now, they still had guava, which I don't want. And they still had the star fruit because they brought all that exotic stuff in. But those persimmons were gone. And then my regular persimmons were just about gone. So, now I know everybody likes the honey persimmons, but I'm still going to squeeze by there again to see if maybe some more came in. Probably not. And I could always go to another Myers location. There's another Myers that's not too far from me, but I don't really feel like driving out of the way. But we'll see, because, I was so hurt. I was so hurt when I got there and there were no more of those persimmons left because my mouth was set. And I just knew there would still be some because it was just so many. And we're talking only a couple of days here. So they bought those things over the weekend and somebody's eating them and having them for Christmas or whatever. But they were delicious. But I still have my other ones in there. In fact, I'm going to eat one tonight. And I like the fuyu or whatever they're called, but they're not as good as the honey ones. But anyway, I still have some of my cream cheese dip and those, so I'm gonna eat one tonight. But anyway, we're at 30 minutes, so I'm going to get off of here now. So I will talk to you later. And like I said, if, while I'm in Myers or Michael's, I may come on just to film what's happening in there. If there's something, that's on sale or whatever. So I will talk to you later, and may God bless you all. Let me cut off this hot thing. Ooh, I didn't know it was on high. So I need to recharge the battery. I already know. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Let me get this plugged in now. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.